Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Makakwadash. And I want to say Shalom to Akanakwath out there pursuing this truth diligently. Coming at you once again with another lesson. And this one, comes to the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. I was watching a lesson earlier by Apostle Gabar titled you want to talk about the law, all right, or something along to that effect, all right? You want to talk about the law, and of course it was referring to IUIC, and they're always, as the title of this lesson, the laws, the statutes, and the commandments, as Apostle Gabar always gets on them about, because they think you can keep the law 100% perfectly, but then they do a lot of things that breaks the law, such as sex on Sabbath, or just a multitude of other things. And in the lesson, Apostle Gabar was really talking about, you want to talk about the law? All right, we'll talk about the law. You can't be, if your wife has a male child, you can't be around her for 40 days. She's got to be separated. All right, if she has a female child, you can't be around her for 80 days. Right? If she's on her menstruation cycle, you can't be around her until she's clean. 8 days until she's declared clean again. And they don't follow those ones. All right. But they'll say that they're keeping the laws, statutes, and commandments. All right, all of them. But then they also teach that you can have sex on Sabbath, which is against the law, because that like as the apostle was saying. When and there was another lesson recently that Apostle Aramallah did as well. When your seed of copulation, that's semen, all right, that sperm comes out of you, that act makes you unclean, okay? And that's the act, when you have sex, that happens, okay? That makes you unclean, all right? That makes the woman unclean, all right? And so you'd be unclean on the Sabbath, and so you're not supposed to be. You're supposed to be, holy, all right? And if you're unclean, you're not holy, So look, man, and the thing is, they're always talking about the laws, the statutes, and the commandments, yet they never keep the laws, the statutes, and the commandments. But they say that they do, but they don't, and it's complete confusion. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab Romans 6:14 through 15. All right, and this is gonna be a lesson that's pieced together as well. Again, so Slakia. Romans 6:14 reads, "For sin shall not have dominion over you, for ye are not under the law, but under grace." And this is one of the things that I guess, IUIC and some of these other camps don't understand. All right, GMS is really the only one that is teaching this to the full effect. All right, not that I'm a part of GMS, but that's who I learned from. So, "For sin shall not have dominion over you, for ye are not under the law, but under grace." So we're under a grace period. So we're not necessarily under the law, we're under a grace period. And why is that? Because what are you going to do? We can afford 2 houses? Well, one of our wives is, well, most of us only have one wife, all right? And that's another thing, that's part of the law, but we don't do it right now because it's not, all things are lawful to me, but not all things are expedient, all right, roughly paraphrasing. So it's just not an expedient thing to do. It's not a smart thing to do right now. And, and what are we going to do? We have a wife that's on her cycle. We're going to, we'll have another house. We're just going to make her homeless, make her live out in the backyard. Like, how are we going to do that? All right. It's, and there's not a communion where all these women could go to be together. There's nothing like that, man. So we can't keep it to the full extent, but we have to keep it to the best of our ability. All right. And offend less. Let's go and get that one too real quick. All right. Let's go and get offend less. All right, but let's finish this one up. Romans 6:14, "For sin shall not have dominion over you, for ye are not under the law, but under grace." And we're not under the law. Does that mean we can just go sinning it up, all right, and eat pork and crawdads and crawfish and shoot guns up in the air and have sex with other men's wives and do all sorts of wickedness? No. Romans 6:15, "What then? Shall we sin?" What is sin? Okay, and I'm not going to get it for you this time because you should look it up. Okay, we've done it several times. What is sin? Look it up. What sin is what? Just look up sin is the KJV. Type that in. Sin is the KJV. It's the what? And I'm not going to give it to you because you should go and do something for yourself for once, man. We've talked about it several times. You should know, all right? Unless you're new. If you're new, if you're brand new, then you get a pass. But if you're not new, you should know what sin is, okay? It's the transgression of something, all right? Go figure out what that something is. Romans 6:15. "What then? Shall we sin because we are not under the law, but under grace? Yahweh forbid." So just because we're under grace doesn't mean we can sin, okay? doesn't mean we can sin. So we're not under the law, but that doesn't mean we can break the law. And I kind of gave you a hint there if you can figure it out. Go and look it up. Find out what sin is, okay? So, and then it goes, we'll leave it off at 15. But yeah, so what then shall we sin because we are not under the law but under grace? Yahweh forbid. So just because we're under grace doesn't mean we can just go do whatever we want. This is Ecclesiastes 17 and 25. It says, return unto the Lord and forsake thy sins. Make thy prayer before his face and offend less. Why does it say offend less? Why doesn't it say offend never? Never offend, because the Lord has reasonable expectations for us. All right, he's not going to try. He knows that when circumstances we're in, because he put us in this circumstance. So he's not going to have us, here, I'm going to put you in this situation where you're not going to be perfect, and I'm going to make it to where you better be perfect. No, that's not how it works, man. It's not how it works. So I'm going to get it one more time, and then I got to close out, and I'll piece together the next part, probably after work or during my break or something, Lord willing. Ecclesiastes 17 and 25, return unto the Lord and forsake thy sins, make thy prayer before his face, and offend less. We're not going to be perfect. All right, the ultimate goal is to offend less, okay? I'll be right back with you in just one moment, Lord willing. All right, we're back. So, moving on, we're going to get to to James 2 and verse 10. So we're not going to be perfect in this thing, The ultimate goals, like we were reading earlier, was, to offend less. Okay, we're not going to be perfect at the end of the day. Okay, so let's go and get James 2 and 10. Let's go and get it. I gotta zoom out here so I can. Come on now. All right. So this is James 2 and 10, and this is something that Jakes out there, especially you that of IUIC or that are following them need to understand, right? This is James 2 and 10. It says, "For whosoever shall keep the whole law and yet offend in one point, he is guilty of all." Right? So you might have a question: Why even do anything then? Why even talk about it? Why even make this lesson? Why even if none of us are going to be perfect, right? And if you just break one law, you broke them all. Might as well just keep going, right? Might as well just break them all. Might as well just keep going. No, that's not how it is. And well, why even keep a law if you're under grace? You might have all these questions. Well, at the end of the lesson, that question will be answered, man. All right, that question, and really, it's already being answered. All right, because you shouldn't be doing it. Okay. You shouldn't be doing it. It's still sin at the end of the day, okay? You're still breaking the law, all right? And you shouldn't be doing it, okay? Like it says, because shall we sin because we're not under the law but under grace? Yahweh forbid. Roughly paraphrasing, of course, And it's just that simple, man. So no, you can't just sin freely, and that's what really a lot of you Jakes want is a free sin pass, a freedom to sin pass, man. That's what a lot of you want, okay? And you're constantly trying to find gray areas or loopholes or bypasses or anything that you can possibly get through, so you can just sin and go eat pork again and all these different things and all this wickedness, man. That's all you want, okay? And that's not the spirit that the elect will be in, all right? So y'all that are trying to do that, you're probably more than likely not part of the elect, right? Trying to find loopholes and how can I be in being a gray area Israelite, man. That's what you're really being, is a gray area Israelite, trying to find all the gray areas. Well, I'm going to find the area where I'm not really going off, but I'm not really doing right either. I'm in a gray area, don't be a gray area Israelite, man. Don't be one of those people, Don't be one. Well, I'm gonna order a pork chop and I'm gonna just sniff it while I eat a piece of turkey, and I won't, I'm not going on. Yeah, but man, come on now, that's just weird, that everybody would know you're fucking weird. You're borderline, you're basically almost going off at that point. Why'd you even eat the pork chop at this point? Well, you didn't eat the pork chop, but you damn near, you basically wanted to, and you probably do, it's just ridiculous, say, oh, I'm not going to eat it. Well, why not? You're already there sniffing it. Jeez. And you don't care about the law, man. The gray area Israelites, man, you don't care about the law. Or else you try to keep it, all right? But you're trying to find a way to where you can be in the middle, all right? A 1 foot in, 1 foot out Israelite, all right? Don't be like that. But James 2 and 10 shows you, and again, there's another scripture that I gotta go and get, right? Let me get it. I think we already got this one, did we? Let me see. Yeah. I think we already got Ephesians. Yeah, we did. No. We haven't yet, but it's actually the next one, so we're gonna get it. So Ephesians 2:9 says, we got to go through 8, of course, and then we'll go back to James. It says Ephesians 2:8, for by grace are ye saved through faith, and that not of yourselves, it is the gift of Yahweh. So we are under grace. We're saved by grace. Okay, we're not saved by keeping the law, the statutes, and the commandments. All right, that doesn't mean we can break the laws, the statutes, and the commandments. We still got to keep them. It just means we're not saved by them. Okay, and it's because if we were only saved by the laws, the statutes, and the commandments, then guess what? We'd be what's the word I want to use? Fucked, for a better word, for lack of a better word, man. Fucked. We'd be fucked if we were only saved by the law. We wouldn't make it. We would not make it. All right. Some of us got to wear work uniforms. We only have certain shirts we can wear. All right. That's how it works with me. Only certain shirts. Guess what? And so that's something you have to realize. There's so many things. Did you work on Sabbath? Because today I had to work, and we just got out of Sabbath, so that means I was working on Sabbath. So there's that. I was working on Sabbath. The shirt I'm wearing, it's not 100% cotton. So there's that. Because did you know you're not supposed to wear a garment of diverse fabrics? Did you know that? Let's go and get it. Right here, Deuteronomy 22:11. This is a commandment. Thou shalt not wear a garment of diverse sorts, as of diverse sorts, Slakia, as of woolen and linen together. Okay, and we have all the garments here are of diverse sorts. They all have polyester with linen with half cotton, with thread, with all this weird shit, man. All right, synthetic fabrics, which that's not even real. That's not even real fabric. That's some synthetic lab-made shit, man. Right? So Ephesians 2:8, for by grace are ye saved through faith, and that not of yourselves, it is the gift of Yahweh. That is the gift of Yahweh. And call all Yahweh Bashem Yahushai for that. Because if we were saved by the law, we'd be screwed, man. Because Esau puts pork in the water. And he does this with that. And he does that with this. And he does that with that. Now, does that mean, we can just go and eat a pork chop because Esau's already putting pork in the water? No, it doesn't mean that, man. No, it doesn't mean that. That's wicked. All right? That's wicked as hell. Okay, there's certain things we can help, and there's certain things we can't help. Let's go on to verse 9 and see why this is. One of the reasons, at least. Not of works. All right, so we're saved what? It says, for by grace are ye saved through faith, and that not of yourselves, it is the gift of Yahweh. Not of works, lest any man should boast. And you know who would boast? You know who would boast? I'm not going to name names, all right? But you know who would probably boast? He would probably, I keep all the laws. I keep all the laws. You know, that's you know, and that's exactly the type of stuff. I won't name names necessarily, because maybe he won't, maybe he wouldn't. I think he probably would, but that's my thought at the end of the day. But IUIC is the type of camp that would boast. You know, they'd say all sorts of shit, man. You know, and I mean they already do now. They already do now. So that's just, you know, and that's just how it is. So James 2:10, for whosoever shall keep the whole law and yet offend in one point, he is guilty of all. So guess what? Now you're guilty of all, because you broke the law, man. You're done. That's it. But you know, you broke one, so you broke them all. At the end of the day, the same sin has been committed. Sin, the same act of wickedness has been committed. You committed a sin. Okay, and there's certain sins that have more, harsher punishments. But at the end of the day, you are guilty of what? A sin. And it just, a murderer is guilty of what? A sin. A homosexual is guilty of what? A sin. An adulterer is guilty of what? A sin. A person who eats pork is guilty of what? A sin. Now, there's different weights and different punishments for those things, but at the end of the day, they're all the same what? Sin. They're all the same. They're not all the same sin, but they're all the same thing, being a sin. They're different in their actions wise. There's certain have harsher punishment. For example, you know, being a thief, that's a sin too, but that carries a lighter weight than being a homosexual. All right, you wouldn't be put to death for being a thief. Okay, but at the end of the day, that homosexual And that thief, at the end of the day, the thing that they had in common was that they committed a sin. One sin just happened to be more grievous than the other. Okay, but it's still a sin. The same act, not the same act. I don't want to say it like that, but the same action of breaking, not the same action. I'll say the act of breaking the law was committed on both behalves. All right, one was just especially more grievous. Okay, but the act of breaking the law was done on both parties, by both parties. Okay, so that's it, man. If you break the law, you broke the law. Okay? And for those of you that have been waiting for a better answer of, well, if we're under grace, why keep the law? Well, let's go and get John 14 and 15. And this is probably, one of the most important reasons, if not the most important reason, probably the most important reason to keep the law. John 14 and 15, if you love me, keep my commandments. So if you love the Lord, you're going to keep his commandments. You're not just going to say, oh, I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to go do whatever I feel like doing. No, if you love the Lord, you're going to keep his commandments. Okay? So, but a lot of you, it ain't for you, man. A lot of you, it's just not for you. And you say, oh, I'm just going to keep the law 100%. You have two halves of people, man. You have three different people. You have people that are, trying to do their best, all right, and trying to offend less, and that's where you should be, right? Then you have the people that are, are all the way to the left, all right, and they're saying, oh, you don't even need to keep the law, man. The law's done away with. We're in the New Testament. They'll say all this bugged out wacko shit, right? They'll say all a bunch of different stuff, all right. The Old Testament it's not canon anymore. No, what are you talking about, man? All right. Or you have those people that try to be. So these people are on the left too, but they think they're so far to the right that they basically circle around and go to the left. And these are the people that try to be over righteous. Okay? These are the people that try to be over righteous, and they say, I'm gonna keep every law. Okay? That's just not how it works. They say, I'm gonna keep every law. I keep every law. I don't break any law ever. Those people, damn near basically just guilty as the people that say they're never gonna keep the law. Okay? Because they're both the same. They're a liar at that point. Congratulations, you're a liar. This is Ecclesiastes 7 and 16. It says, be not righteous over much. What does that mean? Over righteous. Don't be over righteous. Be not righteous over much, neither make thyself over wise. Why shouldest thou destroy thyself? So when you do those type of things, you're destroying yourself, man. You're destroying yourself, by thinking you don't have to keep the laws, the statutes, and the commandments, or saying that you can keep everyone perfect. No, you can't. Here it is. We can keep the laws, the statutes, and the commandments. You had sex on Sabbath. That's breaking the law. All right, and then they try to make excuses. Okay, like the apostle Gabar was talking about recently. They say, you can't, you can't. They say, oh, you can't have sex on the Sabbath. Why? Because it's a pleasure. Because you can have ice cream. Ice cream's a pleasure. Well, it's different, you dummy. That's a completely different thing. So, sleep's a pleasure. You're just trying, what you're trying to do is you're trying to, really trying to justify yourself, man. You're trying to justify yourself, and really it's because you're just wicked as hell, man. You don't want to own up. You don't want to own up that you're wicked, man. And that's that. So, that's been the lesson, all right? The laws, the statutes, the commandments, over righteousness, right? Or, not trying to be righteous at all, right? Just being lazy, all right? You don't want none of that, man. You want to be right in the middle with trying to be, to do to the best of your ability, offend less, all right? Keep the laws, the statutes, and commandments to the best of your ability. Don't purposely go off. We're not going to be perfect, but that's where you want to be. You don't want to be, it's all about balance, man. You don't want to be to one side where you try to be over righteous, and then now you're just being a fucking asshole, okay? You're just being a fucking asshole saying, oh, I keep every law. No, you don't, man. You're an asshole and you're a liar. You're an asshole and you're a liar, okay? Most importantly, you're a liar. Okay, and you're lying, saying, we keep all the law. And you're setting unreasonable expectations. No one can keep the law 100% perfectly. There's no way. There's no way you could. You better have 100% cotton clothes, and just know that if you buy 100% cotton clothes online, not all the time are they 100% cotton. Okay, they might have like 1% of linen or something in there, or wool, and you can't have that. Congratulations, mixed fabric, can't do it. Can't do it. It's wicked. All right, You better never go online because you might accidentally see a naked lady getting her back blown out. Can't do that. You better never go online. All right, can't do that. But never eat out. All right, because there might be pork. You can't make your food at home either, because some of those things might have came in contact with unclean things. So you can't do that either. So you can't eat. Guess you're gonna have to drink water. Oh wait, you can't drink water either, because Esau puts pork in the water bottles and all into the filtration system. Can't do that. So you're wrong for that. Guess what? Can't have a girl, because guess what? If you wake up in the middle of the night and she had her period, all right, guess what? You didn't have her out of the house because you didn't know. Guess what? Now you're unclean. Now, not that you're necessarily wicked, but now you're unclean. Oh, and Sabbath hit. Oh, now you're unclean during Sabbath. See? How? You're not going to be able to keep it perfectly, man. And if you think you can, you're an asshole and a liar, man. You're an asshole and a liar. Okay? Don't be a liar like that, man. It's an asshole thing to do. Don't do it. Okay? So with that, we're going to go ahead and close out. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. Once again, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. I want to say shalom to you brothers and sisters out there. Keep enduring. Keep the faith. We're almost out of here. Until next one, Lord willing. Shalom.